Welcome to the webinar on how to use Vendio Handmade. My name is Nathan, and Sylvia, Vendio's Senior Product Manager, is also here to help answer questions. Please be sure to type your questions into the questions box in the webinar widget during today's webinar, and we will do our best to answer your questions at the end. During the webinar today, we will be covering topics such as how to import your existing items into Vendio Handmade, how to list your existing items to other marketplaces, how to create an item from scratch and list it through Vendio Handmade, how to use variations when creating items, where to find and manage your orders, and all of the options available to you in your Vendio Handmade account. First, let's go ahead and take a look at the setup wizard for your Vendio Handmade account. If you just opened your account or you're just getting started, then you should see the setup wizard when you first log into your account. If you're not able to find it, then you should be able to get there by going to My Vendio and then My Vendio Handmade, and then click the setup icon on the left here. The setup wizard will first walk you through importing your Etsy items and the initial setup. You'll first want to add your Etsy account to Vendio. So just go ahead and click the button to continue to Etsy, and you will be directed to log into your Etsy account if you're not already logged in. Etsy will then let you know what permissions you are giving Vendio to do on your behalf. Just take a look and make sure that you agree, and then go ahead and click the blue Allow Access button that you'll see at the bottom of the page. After you've added your Etsy account to Vendio, then you'll be able to import your items into Etsy. The next step after that is to set up your Amazon Handmade connection. If you're not selling on Amazon Handmade, then you can simply skip this step. But if you are, then first you want to click this button here to link your Amazon account to Vendio, and then you'll be directed to log into your Amazon account, where you can click to connect your Amazon account to your Vendio account. If you are selling on Amazon Handmade, then you'll also need to install the Vendio Handmade add-on to your browser. Please note that you will need to install the add-on to each browser that you are using with your Vendio account. Just click the Install Add-on button and follow the steps. The Vendio Handmade add-on is necessary in order for Vendio to send data to your Amazon Handmade account. And that completes the Vendio Handmade setup wizard process. Let's go ahead and switch to an account that already has some data in it, and we'll take a look at the rest of Vendio Handmade. Okay, so this is what you're going to see after you've completed the setup wizard process and imported your items. You will, oops, there we go. Let's go back to the main page here. You'll get to the products page, and I'm not sure why it's so slow for me right now, but normally you would see your products right here on this page. And let's go ahead and come back to this in a little bit. I'm not sure why that's not loading for me at the moment. So we're going to go ahead and we are going to skip ahead and take a look at some other options in your account. So we're going to go ahead and take a look at your My Account page. And this is under My Vendio and then My Account. And this is had some options on this page, just some basic account settings that I wanted to show you. The first is the My Products Plans page, and this is where you can find what plan you are currently subscribed to and where you can go to make changes if you want to select a different plan. Then you have the My Billing Statements section here, and this is where you can view your current and your past billing statements. And you can also download your billing statements going back 2 years. And then the last option on this page here is the account and billing info section. And this is where you can change your address, your credit card information, your password, and your other basic account information. Oh, here we go. So just to go back here, I'm not sorry about that glitch earlier, but this is going back to what you will see after you've completed the Vendio Handmade setup wizard. You can see here we're back on the My Vendio Handmade page. And you can see that all of our products are listed here. We've already imported our products in from Etsy. And so what you want to do here then, or what you can do here, is then you can easily take these existing products and then send them to additional marketplaces. And this can be done by putting check marks in the boxes to the left of the products, or you can select an entire page of products at a time by checking this box at the top left. Once you've selected the products, then you can go ahead and click the Send To button here at the bottom right of the page. And you can use this button to send your products to either Amazon Handmade, to Etsy, or to eBay. We're going to go ahead and click to send these products to Etsy. And then on the next page here, it allows you to make some changes to some fields when you need to. And you can also add in information that's required in order to list your items to Etsy. Some of the fields also have a bulk edit option at the top. For example, you can see the price field here has a bulk edit option. If maybe all of your items had similar prices, then you could go ahead and make that change in bulk. Just type in the change and click copy down. And then if you wanted to change a couple of those products to a different price, you could do that as well. You can change your Etsy settings for the about the listing, like who made the listing, what type of product is it? Is it a supply or a finished product? You can change your renewal options. You can edit your attributes and details, and you can even edit your descriptions in bulk using this button here. At the right, you'll see that you have your different publish actions, and they will depend on whether the item is already active or not. So for this first example, you can see this item is already active on Etsy. So we have the option to only save our changes without affecting the existing Etsy listing, or we can update the existing Etsy listing, or we can even remove this listing from Etsy if we need to. If you scroll down a bit, we have this other product here that's not yet live on Etsy, and you'll see that our publish actions are different. We can, again, only save the changes without sending anything to Etsy, or we can publish this item as live on Etsy, or we can send it to Etsy as a draft only that is not live. Once you made all the changes that you want to make, you can just scroll to the bottom of the page and click the Save All button here, and those changes will be sent on over. We will return and take a closer look at creating listings and importing them soon. But next, I wanted to show you the preferences pages. We have one of the preferences pages. We have different preferences pages where you can edit various defaults and other information for your account. And we'll be taking a look at each of them during today's webinar, but for right now, let's go ahead and take a look at the channels preferences page. You can go to that page by clicking on your username at the top right and then select preferences. Go ahead and leave this page here. And then the drop-down box at the top of the page can be used to select the preferences page that you want to go to. In this case, we are going to go to the channels preferences page. The channels preferences page allows you to manage the accounts that you have linked to Vendio. So here you can go ahead and add or remove your eBay ID. If you are using eBay managed payments, that you want to make sure that you check the box in this page. It will help us properly manage your orders in Vendio. You can also add or remove your Amazon account information here, and you can add or remove your Etsy account information here. If you want to remove the connection or add in a new one, you can do it right here, or you can add it from the setup wizard like we did at the beginning. And then when you're done, just go ahead and make sure that you click the Save and Close button at the bottom of the page. Next, let's go ahead and take a look at where you can go to import listings. On the menu at the top, we're going to go to Items and then Import Items. And here you have the option to import your existing items from eBay, from Amazon, or from Etsy. And then there's also an option to import new items or to update your existing items using a CSV file. CSV files, if you're not familiar with them, they're just a specific type of Excel file, and there are instructions and an import template in the CSV file import section right there. The options that you have when importing do depend on what marketplace you're importing from. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Etsy options. So we'll click on Etsy here. And you see now that we're on the Etsy import page, we have a few different options. First, we can choose whether we want to import all of our Etsy items, even the closed ones and the draft listings, or you can only import your live Etsy listings if you prefer. Next is the item allocation strategy, and this is really important that you select the correct item allocation strategy for your business. This decides how your products will be handled on different marketplaces as far as the quantities go. If you select the committed item allocation strategy, then what that does is it means that you specify the quantities that you want to send to each marketplace. For example, if you had a product with a quantity of 10 and you wanted to sell it on both eBay and Etsy, you might send 5 of those to eBay and you might send 5 of those to Etsy. In that example, if one of those products sold on Etsy, then your Etsy quantity would be reduced to 4 and your eBay quantity would remain at 5. Usually I recommend using the shared listing strategy. And with the shared listing strategy, you can share those quantities across marketplaces. So in that same example that we just discussed, your quantity of 10 for that product would be sent to both eBay and Etsy. And then when that sale would have happened on Etsy, your quantities would be reduced to 9 on both the eBay and the Etsy marketplaces. This allows you to send your entire quantities to everywhere that you're selling. There is a slight chance of overselling though, as it does take a few minutes in order for those quantities to be updated. And then the final item allocation strategy that you have available to you is the unlimited strategy. And this is really best for products that you have a virtual unlimited supply. Perhaps there's a product that you make that you can make rather quickly and you can get new supplies to make that product whenever you wish. That might be a good candidate for the unlimited item allocation strategy. When you're using unlimited, when you make a sale, your quantities are reduced. However, we do not remove the items when you reach 0, so you can have products with a negative inventory quantity if you're using the unlimited item allocation strategy. The next section is profiles. Profiles are used primarily for eBay. So if you are not selling on eBay, then you don't really need to worry about this section here. If you are, you can add new profiles by using this green plus button, or you can edit existing profiles using the pencil icon. And then when you're done, just go ahead and click the blue Import My Etsy Inventory button. Once you have finished an import, you can check on the status of your import by going to Items, Import Items, and then click the View Import Status button, and that will let you know the status. Excuse me. Next, let's go ahead and take a look at where you can import and manage your images. You can also import images at the time that you are creating items if that works better for you. But let's go ahead and go to Images at the top of the page here, and then we're going to go to Upload Images. Once you're on the Upload Images page, you can use the Browse button here to select the images that you'd like to upload. You can select the folder that you want to upload them to. You can create new folders if you need to, or resize the images. And once you're done, you simply hit the Upload button there. Keeping in mind that you can use the Shift and the Control keys on your keyboard in order to select multiple images at once for upload. To go ahead and manage your existing images, you're going to go to Images and then My Images. And here we have all of our images on our images page. You can use the View Options button at the right here in order to turn columns on or off on this page, and also to choose how many images you would like to see on one page. The search button can be used to find specific images. There's an advanced button here that you can use in order to find images that meet certain criteria, such as the date that you uploaded them. The disk usage button here is also useful, and this will let you know your current image storage level so that you can make sure you aren't going over the image storage limit for the plan that you're currently subscribed to. The page here on the My Images page will also show you a whole bunch of information about your images, including the date that they were uploaded, the expiration date, if there is one, and also the date that the images were last viewed, either by you within your account or by someone that's viewing a listing of yours that has one of those images in it. You can also get a link to an image if you need to use it elsewhere by clicking the magnifying glass icon to the left of the image file name. Then you can pick which size you would like, and then just go ahead and copy the URL in order to use that image wherever you need to use it. Your image folders can be managed to the left. You can create new folders or remove a folder if you have one you no longer need. And that's useful to help keep your images well organized. When you do delete an image, which you can do using the delete button, it will be removed to the recycle bin. Once an image has been moved to the recycle bin, it will stay there for 14 days until it's automatically deleted by our system. If you do want to restore an image before the 14 days is up, then you may do so just using this undelete button here. Also note that images in your recycle bin are counted toward your image storage level. So if you do need to permanently delete images earlier than the 14 days, you can do so by clicking the empty recycle bin button. All right, let's go ahead and take a quick look at the images preferences page. We're going to go and click on our username at the top right, and then go to preferences. And then if you're not already on the images preferences page, you can select it from the drop-down box here at the top. Here on the images preferences page, you have the option to have images automatically be deleted when they meet certain criteria, or you can choose to only delete them automatically. When an image is uploaded, please keep in mind that it will use the setting that is set here. Changing the preference will only make the change for your future image uploads. If you have auto renew turned on, then your images will not be automatically deleted. If you do turn auto renew off, then you can select how many days after an image has last been viewed or renewed that it should be deleted. This is useful if you are trying to keep your image storage level low and you don't want to have to go and delete the images that you no longer need manually. You can also set preferences for your image folders here. You can choose to automatically name your folders using the date that the images were uploaded. You can choose the format of that date if you like. You can choose to automatically delete folders after they've been empty for a certain number of days. And then you can also choose your default image folder for your image uploads. Okay, now that we've taken a look at how to upload and manage your images, let's take a look at how to create an item from scratch. We can do this by going to Items at the top of the page, and then Create Items. You'll see here at the bottom that you can select all of the marketplaces where you would like to send this new item. Let's go ahead and check each of these boxes in turn. So first, we're going to turn on eBay. And after checking the box to sell on eBay, you'll see the option to select the eBay category is shown right here. You can also select a previously used category, and that can make it useful if you tend to sell in the same couple of categories. Today, we're going to be listing a bracelet. So we'll go ahead and select jewelry and watches and handcrafted artisan jewelry and bracelets, and then click select. Next, we're going to go ahead and turn on the Amazon options. You can see here that you can either choose the basic US Amazon site, or you can choose Amazon Handmade. Let's go ahead and select Handmade. And then you'll notice that the text here mentions that items can be sent to Amazon Handmade after the item's been created. This is due to the options that Amazon Handmade has provided for us to integrate with them. We will take a look at how to send items to Amazon Handmade after looking at how to initially create the items. Next, we'll turn on the Etsy options by checking the Etsy box here, and then we'll select the Etsy category. So let's see, we'll do jewelry and bracelets and beaded bracelets, and then we'll click select. You'll notice now the eBay info and Etsy info tabs have been turned on the top left of this page. We're going to go ahead and go to the next tab. There's a couple ways you can navigate this page. You can click the next button at the top right or the bottom right of the page to go to the next page in order. But you can also use the tabs at the top left here to go between pages. The next button is great when you want to go through the process in order, but the tabs at the top left allow you to go back and forth if you need to. I'll usually use the next button when creating a completely new item, but the tabs when editing an existing item where I maybe only need to go to one of those tabs. So we're going to go ahead and click next. Now we are on the Item Info tab, and on the Item Info tab, you'll notice that some of the fields are in green and some of the fields are in black. The fields that are in green are required and will need to be filled out, while the fields that are in black are optional. Let's add in a title for this item. And then we'll also add in an image. So we'll do that by clicking the Add Images button here. If the images you need are not yet in your Vendio account, then you can upload them using the Upload button right here, and then follow the steps to upload your images. If they're already in your account, then you can just select the images that you need and click the Attach Selected button. Next, we will add in a description for the item. And we'll give the item a price. And then you can see here, you can change the profiles if you need to use a different profile other than the defaults. Again, the profiles are primarily used for eBay. And you can also add new profiles and edit them using the green plus button or the pencil icon to edit right here. If you are using calculated shipping, then you can enter in the package details here. So we're going to go ahead and click this link and then add in our item weight, our shipping weight, and our dimensions. And then we'll go ahead and click the next button to go to the inventory tab. All right, here you can change the item SKU if you want. Otherwise, the item will use a SKU that's been randomly assigned to you by Vendio. You'll want to enter in the quantity that you have available for sale, and you'll want to select the item allocation strategy that we discussed earlier in the webinar today. I'm going to go ahead and select shared. There are some other optional fields available here as well, and they can be used to keep track of information about the item. We're going to go ahead and we're going to click next to go to the eBay info tab. You should notice that some of the fields here have already been filled in. That means that the data has been copied from a previous tab, usually from the item info tab. That way, if you're listing an item on multiple marketplaces, you only need to enter in the information that is shared across marketplaces once. If you want to change that information for one marketplace, but not another, then simply make the necessary changes. So we're going to do that here. And you'll notice that the links of that chain have now been broken and are no longer connected, which means that this title for eBay now has a different title from the other marketplaces that are being sold to on this item that we're creating. If you do decide that you want those all to be the same title, again, maybe you change your mind, you can just go ahead and click on that icon of the two links to the chain to connect them. And this title is now, again, being inherited from the item info tab. You can see here the information that we entered previously, such as your eBay category, your quantity, your price, and the title have all already been copied over. You do want to take a look at the green fields to make sure they are set the way you would like them, and also take a look at the black fields to make sure you filled in any that you want to use. So we're going to go ahead and change that to good till canceled. Of our item condition, the brand is handmade, so we want to select that. Let's see, oh, we've got templates, so you can use one of the Vendio templates if you like. So you can just click to choose your own, browse for a template, go ahead and pick one that looks good to you and then select it. Now we've got a template selected. We have the profiles again if you need to make changes to those. Description's already filled in. We've already added our images. All right, that looks pretty good to me. At the bottom of the page here, you'll see the preview at eBay link. So we're gonna go ahead and click this button and make sure that there are not any errors that need to be corrected. And if there are not any errors, we'll make sure the preview looks good before we continue. So I'll click that button now. Oh, good, so we have no errors, so that's good. And yep, that looks good to me. I'm gonna go ahead and click close. And we will continue on. Oh, at the bottom of the page here, you can choose your launch options. So you can choose to not launch the eBay right now, or not launch the item to eBay right now, but just save the information. Or you can choose to launch a single listing. Or you can choose to schedule repeat launches using an eBay launch profile. There are many different options for the launch profile. So if you have an idea of how you would like your listings to automatically be launched, but you can't figure out the correct setting, just contact support and we are happy to help. When you are done with your eBay settings, just go ahead and click the next button to go to the Etsy info section. You can see here, we are on the Etsy info tab. And again, you can see that much of the information's already been copied over to the Etsy info section. And if so, you don't need to enter in much of it. But if you do, then you certainly can. Here, there's the Etsy SKU field, for example. So if you need to use a different SKU for Etsy than for Vendio, then you can make that change here. And next, we're going to go ahead and fill out the fields that are specific to the Etsy category that we selected. Remember, again, the fields in green are required. And so I'm just going to take a look and make sure that this looks all right. Yep, that looks good. We'll go ahead and select the primary color. And let's see, this bracelet's red and white. So we've got the colors selected. Scroll on down, there's some more optional fields if you want to use those. These are required, so green fields here. So who made it? Well, let's see, I made it. What is it? It's a finished product. And when was it made? It was made this year. Next, we'll go ahead and select whether we want the item to automatically renew or manually renew. See, yep, it's a physical product, so that's correct. Keep on scrolling down, filling in any optional fields that you want to use. All right, here we will then select the shipping option that we want to use. You will need to select an existing Etsy shipping profile. So if you're not seeing the Etsy profile that you need and you already created it in your Etsy account, just click the Retrieve My Etsy Shipping Profiles button, and that should bring in your Etsy shipping profiles. And then just put a check in the button to the left of the profile that you would like to use. You can see here the weight and item size have already been copied over, so that's good. We don't need to enter that in again. And we can now choose at the bottom of the page whether we want to save without publishing on Etsy, or if we want to publish on Etsy as a live item, or if we want to just send the information to Etsy as a draft. And so you'll go ahead and select the option you want there. Last, you can either click at the bottom right of the page here, the Save button, which will save this item and send it over to the products where you selected to list it to. Or you can click the Save and Clone button. And this option is really useful if you are selling multiple items that are very similar to each other. When you click the Save and Clone button, it will immediately save this item and then open up a completely new item with all of the same information in it. And then you can just go and just make changes for that new item where it's different from the one that you just saved. So that can help save you a lot of time. If there are any errors displayed after you click the Save button, you'll see them in red and they'll let you know what you need to change. Otherwise, you should get a green message that the item has been successfully saved. And that's how you create a new item. Next, I wanted to show you something very similar, how to create a new item, but with variations from scratch. And this is a similar process to this item here, so we're just going to focus on what is different. But to create an item with variations, we are again going to go to Items, Create Items, and then we're going to turn on the marketplaces where we sell. Okay, we got our eBay category. We're going to do Amazon Handmade. We're going to do our Etsy category. And now that we've selected the channels we want to sell on, we definitely want to make sure, since we're selling an item with variations, that we check this box here that says, I have more variations of this item, such as color and size. And after checking that box, you'll notice that the Inventory tab has changed to now say Inventory and Variations. And we'll go ahead and click the Next button. And we'll need to fill in the main information for the product again. Select an image. Give the product a description and a price. Add in our weight and dimensions. And go ahead and click the Next button. And this is the page where we will add in our variations. You can see we're on the Inventory and Variations tab. So first, we're going to click the Add Attribute button, and then select the types of variations that we'll be using. If you're creating a new attribute and it's not yet in your account, then just select this New Attribute option and type in the name that you would like to give it. And then you can add the different values right here by typing in each value and clicking the green plus button after each one. We're going to go ahead and use an existing attribute of color and also the attribute of size. So let's start by selecting color. And you can see we already have a few attribute values created for color. Again, we could add more by typing them in here and clicking the green plus button. Once you have added in all the options that you need, just go ahead and click the OK button. We'll also have size as a variation, so let's go ahead and select that one as well. So select size and click OK. So now we've added all of the attributes that we want to use. And there are two different ways that you can add the variations in. You can click the Add Variation button for each individual variation that you are using, like this, and then select the color and the size, and then you could continue on and do each additional one that you would like to use. But what's a lot more useful most of the time is to instead click the Generate Variations button. And when you click this button now, this will create all of the possible combinations of the attributes that you've selected. So we don't need to go ahead and click to add each one in individually. Now that we've added in our variations, we can enter in our item quantities. If the numbers are same for all of the items, then you can just click the pencil icon here in the total quantity column, and then enter in the quantity and click OK. You can see that's been copied down to all of them, or you can manually change the quantities for some of the items if some of them are different from others. If you need to make any other changes, such as different prices for different variations, or if you want to use your own SKUs instead of the SKUs that Vendio automatically created for you, then you can make those changes here. When you're ready, just go ahead and click the next button. You can see here that the variations are now shown on the eBay info tab that we are on here. And if you need to make any changes to them just for eBay, then you can do so here. Be sure to check the rest of the fields on the eBay info tab and make sure they're set up the way you would like them to be. And when you're done, go ahead and click the next button to go to the Etsy info tab. If you are using multiple variation attributes, then Etsy rules will require that you select which attribute to base the images you are using on. We'll select color for this example, and we'll click OK. And now we will add one image for each color variation. So we have red at the top here, so we're going to click to add an image, add image, and my red image here, attach selected, and OK. And you can see that the red image has now been applied to the variations that have the color of red. We'll go ahead and do the same for blue. So we'll click on the image, click add image, select the image, click attach selected, and click OK. And we'll do it one more time for purple. So we'll click here, add image, select the image, attach selected, and OK. And you've now set your variations for this item, and the rest of the listing process is pretty much just the same as what we looked at earlier on in this webinar. Next, I wanted to take a look at the My Items page, and we're going to do that by going to Items at the top and then My Items. And this is where the items that you have created or imported can be found and managed. You can send items to Amazon Handmade using the process that we looked at the beginning of this webinar, and that's in the My Vendio Handmade section, or you can send them to Amazon Handmade here. To send items to Amazon Handmade from this page, you're going to select either individual items or an entire page at once, and then you're going to click Actions, Send to Amazon Handmade. And then on this page, you can then make any edits that you need to make to the products for Amazon Handmade. This is very similar to the My Vendio Handmade section, pretty much the same options. So it's really whichever is easier for you, but they're pretty much the same. But yeah, so you can change the price if you want. You can do it in bulk. You can do it for individual items. You can bulk edit your description. You can change your attribute values, all of that, all of those changes you might need to make, you can do here. And then when you're ready, you can either click the Save Only button to the right of each individual product to save the changes without sending them over to Amazon Handmade, or you can click Save and Publish to actually publish those changes over to Amazon Handmade. And then also at the bottom of the screen, you can make the changes in bulk for all of the items, either saving all of the items or saving and publishing all the ones that are ready for Amazon Handmade to Amazon Handmade. Next, let's take a look at the other options that you have in your My Items page. You can see the options button at the top right of the page here can be used to turn on or off fields that you do or don't want to use. And this allows you to customize the page so you're not looking at data for maybe marketplaces you don't sell on, or just data that you're not interested in, but where you can turn on data that is important to your business. You can sort the items on this page by clicking on the column that you would like to use to sort them. So for example, if I wanted to sort by title, I could do so here, and then it's got it sorted alphabetically. Most columns do have a search box at the top of the page that you can use. So maybe I want to find all of my bracelet items. I can type in bracelet, and then it finds all of the bracelet items. You also have more detailed search options if you click the little filter icon here, and you can drill down in order to find the specific items that you need to use. Clicking on an item title will bring you to the item details page so that you can edit an existing item right here. Some fields, such as the total quantity field, they can be edited just by double clicking into that field, and then you can change your quantities. And then you want to make sure you click the Save button at the bottom right of the page when you are done with those changes. There's also some fields that can be edited in bulk. In order to edit the items in bulk, you'll first want to select the items you want to edit, and you can do that with specific items, or you can select an entire page at once. Then you'll want to make sure this box for quick edit mode is checked, and then you can make the changes you would like to make in the bulk edit panel to the right. And then once you're done with those changes, go ahead and click Save, and they will apply to all of the items that you have selected. The Folders button at the top left can be used to manage your item folders. You can add, rename, and remove folders here. And then the Views button will allow you to filter items by various states. For example, if you only wanted to see items that are currently on eBay, then you could select the On eBay option. And then the Actions button that we looked at briefly earlier can be used for a whole bunch of different actions, such as deleting items, copying items, moving them to a different folder, and then again, that option to send items to other marketplaces that we took a look at for Amazon Handmade is available here as well, and you can use that for all of the marketplaces on which you sell. Next, let's take a look at the items preferences page. And so we're going to click on our username at the top right, and then we're going to click on preferences. And if you're not already on the items preferences page, you can select it from the drop-down box at the top. And here you can create custom fields for your items as well as labels. These more advanced options can help you manage and organize your items. And when you set them up here, they will appear in the inventory tab when you are creating or editing items. And then next, we're going to go ahead and take a look at how to view the status of your listings. And you can do this by going to Channels and then My Listings. And then you can use the filter icon in order to find listings that are on a specific channel, or to search by title or by SKU or by listing ID. And then with the status button, you can choose to view only your active, errored, scheduled, or ended listings. If a listing does fail with an error, you can get the more detailed error message by choosing the errored filter. You can see here, like this most recent one, the condition was not entered and it was required on eBay for that category. And then putting a check mark next to a listing will allow you to click the Actions button at the bottom left of the page here. And depending on the filters you have selected, you will have different available actions. So for example, for the active filter, we click Actions, we can end listings, we can refresh them, we can set an auto relist or cancel it, we can edit them, or we can click to sell similar. Right, next we're going to take a look at where to go to view and manage your orders. To do this, we're going to go to Orders and then Sold Items. And you can see under the Marketplace account column, you can see which marketplace the order is for. In the examples we have here, we've got Amazon, but you would also see an Etsy logo for Etsy or an eBay logo for eBay. You can view the details of the order by just clicking the Details button to the left, and that will give you all of the different details of the order, such as the shipping address. On this page, you can go to different tabs to find orders in different statuses. For example, clicking on the Needing Shipment tab will give you a view of all of your orders that have been paid and not yet shipped. And then by putting check marks in the boxes to the left of the orders, you can make changes to the status of the orders. So for example, if you wanted to mark 2 of the orders as shipped, then put check marks in the boxes to the left, and click the Mark As button, and then select Shipped. The View Options button at the top right of the page like some of our other pages, can be used to turn fields on or off, depending on which ones you'd like to see. And then you also have an option in the order section called Sales Archive. And when you've archived an order using the Archive button here, they will no longer show on this main sold items page, but instead they'll be moved to the Sales Archive. And you can go to the Sales Archive page to restore an order if you need to by selecting it and clicking the Unarchive button. Next, we're going to go to the Orders Preferences page. So again, we're going to go to our username at the top and Preferences and select Orders if we're not on that page already. And here you can edit your item shipped and order cancellation notices, and you can also edit your packing slip settings. I also wanted to show you the notifications button. This button will let you know about different events related to the items you are listing. This button's right here. It's this little bell icon at the top right of the page. For example, if a listing fails, or if you get a new order or an import's finished processing, it will show here. And then at the bottom, you can click the View All link to either mark a notification as having been read or to delete it completely if you no longer need to see it in that view. And the last options that I wanted to mention today are the Help and Contact Us section. You can get help by clicking on your username at the top right of the page and then select Help. And here you can find all of the Vendio Handmade support articles. It's really worthwhile to take a look at them if you have the time. And then the Contact Us option, again, under your username at the top right, and then Contact Us is used if you need to contact us for help. Once you get on the Contact Us page, you can either fill out the web form to send a message to support, or you can call or email us directly using the information at the bottom of the page. All right, this concludes the Vendio webinar on how to use Vendio Handmade. I hope you found the information helpful. Let's take a look and see if there are any questions. If you do have a question, please enter it into the questions box in your webinar widget. I don't see any questions yet, but let's give it a little bit of time in case someone's typing. If you are typing out a question and it's really long, just send me something really quick so that I know to wait for you. Okay, it looks like there are not any questions today, but if you do think of one that you need help with, just use that Contact Us option and send it off, and we are more than happy to help. Thank you to Sylvia for being here today to help out. And a reminder again, if you need help, just use that contact support option under your username at the top right of the page in your Vendio Handmade account. Thanks again for joining us for today's webinar, and I hope, really hope you found the information useful, and have a great day.